What if everything we thought we knew about Mars was wrong? What if that cold, dusty, supposedly dead planet has been hiding something this whole time? Not a theory, not sci-fi, hard scientific evidence. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're gonna see Mars completely differently. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, we're tackling a question that's kept scientists up at night for over 100 years. Is there, or was there ever, life on Mars? I know what some of you are thinking. We sent the rovers, we looked, there's nothing there. Here's the thing, that's not what the data says. Not even close. I'm breaking down 5 scientifically verified facts, confirmed by NASA and the European Space Agency, that prove Mars has, or once had, everything needed to support life. Let's get into it. Fact number 1. Mars was once covered in liquid water. Not traces, rivers, lakes, and potentially a global ocean covering the entire northern hemisphere. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter found ancient valley networks that look just like river systems here on Earth. Carved channels, river deltas stretching hundreds of miles. Jezero Crater, where Perseverance landed in 2021, was once a lake the size of Lake Tahoe, with a river delta feeding into it. Perseverance is drilling that ancient lake bed right now, collecting samples that could contain fossilized microbial life. Here's why that matters. On Earth, every single place we find liquid water, we find life. Deep ocean vents at 400 degrees. The driest desert on the planet. Lakes buried under Antarctic ice. Life doesn't need perfect conditions. It needs liquid water and time. Mars had both. That's fact 1. Fact number 2. Liquid water on Mars might still be there right now, underground. In 2018, ESA's Mars Express used ground-penetrating radar and found a 12-mile-wide lake of liquid water under the South Polar ice cap, a mile and a half down. Briny, super salty water. Since then, 3 more subglacial lakes were found nearby. Skeptics say it's too cold. But salt dramatically lowers water's freezing point. Same reason we salt icy roads. On Earth, Lake Vostok in Antarctica sits under 4 kilometers of ice in total darkness and extreme cold. Scientists found bacteria thriving there. Mars now has nearly identical conditions. That's fact 2. Fact number 3, the most debated finding on this list. NASA's Curiosity rover has been analyzing the Martian atmosphere since 2012, and it keeps detecting spikes of methane. Why does that matter? On Earth, 95% of atmospheric methane comes from biological processes, and methane on Mars breaks down within a few hundred years due to UV radiation. So whatever's producing these spikes is producing them right now, actively. In June 2019, Curiosity recorded 21 parts per billion, the largest spike ever measured, 3 times higher than anything before it. The levels spike and drop seasonally and vary by location, exactly the pattern you'd expect from a biological source. Could it be geological? Possibly, but after years of study, no geological model has fully explained the pattern and timing. The biological explanation is still on the table. That's fact 3. Fact number 4. Mars has a chemical in its soil that could be sustaining microbial life right now and preserving biological evidence for billions of years. In 2009, NASA's Phoenix lander found perchlorate salts in Martian soil, later confirmed by Curiosity thousands of miles away. Perchlorates are everywhere on Mars. First, they lower water's freezing point enough to create liquid brine down to -70 degrees Celsius. A 2017 study found these briny films could be stable across 40% of the Martian surface during certain seasons. Second, and this is the big one, perchlorates are incredible preservatives of organic molecules, locking biological material in place for eons. If life ever existed on Mars, that soil may have preserved its chemical fingerprint to this day. We could be sitting on the greatest biological archive in scientific history. That's fact 4. Fact number 5. Mars once had a global magnetic field and a thick atmosphere, the 2 things that make Earth habitable. A magnetosphere blocks solar wind, and a thick atmosphere traps heat and keeps water liquid. Mars has neither today, but NASA's MAVEN spacecraft, orbiting since 2014, confirmed Mars is still losing atmosphere at 100 grams per second, stripped by solar wind. Ancient Martian rocks show clear evidence of forming under a thick CO2 atmosphere, with a real greenhouse effect. Scientists estimate Mars had a working magnetic field until about 4 billion years ago. That means from roughly 4.5 billion years ago to 3.7 billion years ago, Mars had a magnetic field, a thick atmosphere, liquid water, and active geology, a habitable window lasting up to 1 billion years. On Earth, life appeared within 400 million years of the right conditions existing. Mars had those conditions for more than twice as long. That's fact 5. Let's bring it home. 5 facts, all peer-reviewed, all independently confirmed. Mars had vast ancient oceans and lakes. Liquid, briny water likely still exists underground. Curiosity keeps detecting methane spikes nobody has fully explained. Perchlorate salts create liquid microenvironments across nearly half the planet. And Mars stayed habitable for up to 1 billion years. We haven't found life on Mars. I want to be clear about that, but we've found every single thing life needs: water, chemical energy, organic molecules, and time, confirmed by independent missions over 20 years of exploration. The question used to be, could Mars support life? Now scientists are quietly asking, why haven't we found it yet? That might be the most exciting question in the history of science. So tell me in the comments, do you think Mars had life? Is something still alive down there right now? Or are we alone in this solar system? If this video changed how you see the red planet, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. We break down real science every week. I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious.